Why do we dream? Every person spends at least a third of his life in a dream. We work, get tired, and go to bed to get energy. And in dreams, we see all kinds of oddities, fragments from our real life, from the past, and the like. But have you ever asked yourself, at least once, what your dreams can mean? Why do you see them? How do they form? What do they lead to? Why do even people sleep at all? And how do these dreams affect our subconscious, psyche, and real life? In this video, I'll try to clearly and primitively explain how a person sleeps in general, and how the brain works during sleep, and why do we dream. First, we need to clarify how our brain understands that it is time for us to sleep. There are three important points for this: the external signals, the clock, and the circadian rhythm. It's quite simple. Initially, an external signal, namely light, enters our eye, reaches the retina, and rises up to the brain by the optic nerve. Then, it reaches the hypothalamus, which is located just under the thalamus. By the way, hypo from Latin means below. After the signal enters the hypothalamus, a group of cells called the suprachiasmatic nucleus, or just SCN, is activating, and it is going to reach the two parts of your brain: A, the pineal gland, and B, the brainstem. The pineal gland looks like a pine cock, and that is why we call it a pineal gland. The part of your brain is going to produce a hormone called melatonin that is responsible for slowing your heart, breathing, increasing your body temperature, and just preparing you for sleep. Brainstem is another highly important part of your brain that separates the whole body from the brain. The brainstem obviously has multiple different important functions, but also it has this special structure called reticular formation, which is basically a band of fibers attached to each other. The reticular formation communicates with the rest of the brain and blocks the information flow, so our brain will not be able to think or make decisions while we're asleep. Basically, it shuts off the consciousness. But after we're already enabled to think, we need a structure that will stop our muscles working. And that part of our brain is called pons, and that is responsible for muscle relaxation and for the immobility of our whole body. Now that you have become clear about the physiological reactions that occur in our brain during sleep, you also need to know that there are 4 stages of sleep: NREM 1, NREM 2, NREM 3, and the REM. REM here stands for rapid eye movement, the period of sleep when our eyeballs are rapidly moving under our eyelids. Logically, NORREM stands for a period of sleep during which the eyes do not move at all. Each of these stages has its own specific waves of different purities, which are displayed on a machine called an EEG, or just electroencephalograph. It measures the electric activity in your brain. While we're awake, our brain has beta waves. They have high frequency and low amplitude. Then we start the NREM 1, which is characterized by theta waves again, light sleep and hypnic jerks, and also hypnagogic hallucinations. Yes. After, there is the stage called NREM 2, which is again characterized by theta waves, but also there are 2 new things: the sleep spindles and the K complex. And there is a theory why these 2 exist. That is most probably because the information flow is not fully blocked and our brain work is not constantly even. The following stage is the NREM 3, during which we experience delta waves and the sleep is already much deeper. We start producing the growth hormone, and also during this stage, most sleep disorders come up. And after that starts the most exciting stage of sleep, the REM sleep, or other way, the paradoxal sleep. And that is called paradoxal because our muscles are relaxed, but our eyes are still somehow moving. Besides, during this stage of sleep, we dream, train our memory, and learn. The average healthy sleep should last for 8 hours, and during this cycle, all the stages should be repeated 4 or 5 times a night. And now let's still return to the main question: why do we dream? People throughout history have dreamed and no exact understanding of what it could mean. And after hundreds of thousands of years, people have evolved, created many different technologies, and still do not have exact facts regarding the causes and meanings of dreams. There are many different theories, but here are the main ones. 1. We dream to fulfill our wishes. According to the theory of Sigmund Freud revealed in the 90s, all our dreams, including nightmares, are a common wave of our conscious life. The details we remember after waking up can have symbolic meanings and speak of our subconscious desires. According to Freud's assumptions, the analysis of our dreams can reveal to our consciousness the subconscious essence. Thanks to this, you can solve many of your psychological problems or repressed deep in the subconscious mind. 2. We dream to remember. In 2010, the researchers found out that the subjects were much better at getting a throughout complex 3-day maze if they had napped and dreamed of the maze prior to their second attempt. In fact, they were almost 10 times better at it than those who only thought of the maze while awake between attempts, and those who napped but did not dream about the maze. So that, the researchers theorized that some certain memory processes may happen only when we're asleep, and dreams are a signal that these processes are really happening. 3. We dream to forget. Yes, this may seem crazy to some of you, but we are also dreaming to forget. There are over 1,000 trillion neuronal connections in the human brain, and each of them is created when we think, do something, or just exist. And in 1983, neurobiological theory of dreaming called reverse learning claimed that during sleep, and especially during the REM cycle, our neocortex revises the neural connections and destroys old and unnecessary ones so as not to reboot the brain and make room for new connections. Without these learning processes which result in our dreams, your brain could be overrun by useless connections, and other way, parasitic thoughts could disrupt your necessary thinking. 4. We dream to keep our brain working. The continual activation theory proposes that your dreams result from your brain's need to constantly consolidate and create long-term memories in order to function properly. So when external inputs fall below a certain level, like when you're asleep, your brain automatically triggers the generation of data from its memory storages, which appear to you in the form of thoughts and feelings you experience in your dreams. In other words, your dream might be a random screensaver your brain turns on, so it does not completely shut down. And 5. We dream to heal. Stress neurotransmitters in the brain are much less active during the REM stage of sleep, even during dreams of traumatic experience, leading some researchers to theorize that one purpose of dreaming is to take the edge of different painful experiences to allow for psychological healing. Reviewing traumatic events in your dreams with less mental stress may grant you clearer perspective and enhance the ability to process in psychological healthy ways. That is why people that have sleep disorders or difficulties with sleeping, leading some scientists to believe that the lack of dreaming may be a contributing factor to their illnesses.
I hope this video was useful for you and you learned a lot of new things while watching it.
Sweet dreams.